Good evening. The Sydney Swans have effectively blown up their own season, suspending 5 star players for the rest of the year over the sordid Melbourne hotel room scandal. Tonight, 7 News can also reveal bombshell new allegations of drug use. We have every angle covered from here and the Swans headquarters in Sydney. Chief football reporter Mitch Cleary leads our coverage.
The Swans under siege.
No comments.
Just refer to the club statement at this time.
Got nothing to say.
No, not at the moment. Not at the moment. Thank you, though.
But only the CEO and chairman were prepared to answer questions.
Clearly, this is a very sad day for us.
It was staying out late, it was drinking, it was continuing to continue their night, it was bringing women back to the hotel.
Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner, Nick Blakey, Riley Bice and James Jordan suspended for the rest of the season, including finals.
To effectively torpedo our season by making a decision such as this just tells you how seriously we're taking it.
7 News understands the players booked topless waitresses from Party Girls Melbourne. Apologies for fans, sponsors and partners of players, but not the women involved.
What about the women at the centre of this?
We have we're deeply concerned about their welfare and the well-being of those women. We offer as much support as we can. It's a police matter, so we're not going to interfere with that by reaching out to them.
The Swans say the post-game night out was club approved.
The staff, so coaches, physios, doctors, commercial staff, media people, had a get-together, so it wasn't inappropriate what they did. No issue at all with them.
The club adamant no other players or staff were involved.
Just the 5 players.
But stopping short of ruling out whether illicit drugs were in the hotel room at the time.
The drug testing, did you do that on those 5 players?
That's potentially part of the police matter, which we aren't going near.
We're not trying to brush anything under the carpet. We're taking it very, very seriously.
Symbolically, this is huge without making any light of it. They've got serious interests to protect. They basically treat the players as 24/7 brand ambassadors.
The Swan scandal serving as a wake-up call for the rest of the competition.
We had a bit of a chat with our players about remembering the expectations that we have on ourselves.
I think you set those responsibilities and values daily without having to make a grandstand meeting around those things. No, I won't be speaking about this in particular.
Now to Tom Morris with exclusive new details. Tom, the Swans scandal is set to deepen.
It is, Mitch. Tonight we can reveal fresh details about what really happened in the early hours of Monday morning at the Pullman. Tonight we can tell you that there was drug use involved. It's unclear which players were involved in this drug use, but I am willing to say tonight that there were multiple players that were taking cocaine. The players were not drug tested by the AFL in the days after, and the club has been contacted for comment. Now, the topless waitresses were booked through Party Girls Melbourne by a player, and a third waitress also arrived at 5:30 a.m. for a 2-hour booking. Each waitress, my understanding is, was paid $210. That's $630 in total, plus tips for extra services and a deposit. All 3 have now given a statement to police, and the club has denied there were more than 5 players in the room. No players have been charged, and all players are assisting the police with their investigations. Pete?
Mushroom murderer Erin Patterson is in the legal fight of her life as she tries to have her convictions quashed. Today, her defence argued the decision to sequester the jury was catastrophic to the case and some of the evidence was unfair.
364 days after Erin Patterson was handed a life sentence, the triple murderer was back in court, wearing a royal blue tracksuit and black framed glasses. She wants her conviction quashed. The killer cook was on a video link from her maximum security prison and at times took notes for the first of her 2-day appeal hearing. It's before 3 judges with the world watching. Sole survivor of her murderous meal, Ian Wilkinson had a front row seat as the case that captivated the country entered a new chapter. The pastor sat alongside the investigation's lead detective in the Supreme Court's largest room to accommodate the crowd. It's a long way from Leongatha, where the mother of 2 served beef Wellington laced with death cap mushrooms in 2023, killing her in-laws Don and Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson. Patterson's new defence team argues there's been a substantial miscarriage of justice and claiming the jury's sequestration in the same hotel as the prosecution was catastrophic, preposterous and inappropriate, and is something that never should have occurred at the most critical point in the trial. One of the judges asking, so what? The prosecution told the court there's no substance to that and there was no actual contact between any juror and any other person. The defence also claims Patterson endured unfair, oppressive cross-examination, asking the applicant whether or not a witness was wrong, mistaken, incorrect, really diverted the jury from their proper task. Tomorrow, the prosecution will have their chance to push for a harsher sentence. They want life without parole. Then it's up to the three judges to make their final ruling. 2 days that will determine at least the next 3 decades of her life. Melina Saris, 7 News.
Heavily armed tactical police have swarmed a Glenroy street in a major takedown. Live to Geordie Wright, and Geordie, police were taking no chances here.
Mitch, it was quite the dramatic arrest in Glenroy this afternoon. Police vehicles came from every direction. Security vision shows the police team knew where the suspect was headed and lay in wait. When he arrived, officers boxing in the vehicle, and the heavily armed tactical police were called in too. The 33-year-old driver was pulled from his car and cuffed on the roadside. Now, this all began with reports of a man with a firearm in a driveway, but when police arrived, he fled in his silver hatchback but didn't get far. It's unclear whether a gun was found, but officers did locate a sledgehammer, crowbar and what appears to be a homemade firework. Mitch, the 33-year-old, remains in custody tonight.
Geordie Wright, thank you. A Thai teenager's autopsy has revealed she died from suffocation, allegedly at the hands of a Victorian man. Simon Carman is accused of killing the 17-year-old in June before dumping her body near train tracks inside a suitcase in Thailand's east. The pair had been in a dispute over $20 Australian. Her family has called for the accused killer to face the death penalty. Essendon Premiership hero John Barnes has thrown his hat in the ring, running for State Parliament as a One Nation candidate. Pauline Hanson's party unveiled 10 new candidates it hopes will help unseat Labor in November.
Two parties on the right, industrial disputes on the left. Now Labor's been hit head-on with bad news in the polls.
Look, there'll be lots of polls that come and go between now and the state election.
And there'll be lots of One Nation candidates coming for Labor seats too. The party unveiling its first tranche of lower house candidates today, won over by Pauline Hanson's message.
She's a woman of integrity and frankly she's got bigger balls than any man in politics at the moment, and that's why I love her.